the outset, let me state that while I strongly disagree with the Attorney General's decision to bring Ghailani to the United States for trial, I certainly wish and hope that the administration is successful, that he is convicted, and that he spends the rest of his life in prison. So, despite any policy differences on the procedure or on the whole issue of Guantanamo, the most important thing is that this terrorist remain in prison for the rest of his life. So, I want to make that clear up front. There's no hope for failure here to prove a point. Having said that, I strongly disagree with the decision of the administration for several reasons. One, it is a mistake to be bringing anyone from Guantanamo until an overall policy has been arrived at as to what is to be done with the detainees, what the procedures are going to be, what prisons they're going to go to, what the standard of proof is going to be, and what is to be done with a detainee who could be acquitted in an American court. What's the status of that prisoner, that detainee, that defendant? Now, in the case of Ghailani, while this is a pre-9/11 case, to me this represents an effort on the part of the administration to go back to what I believe was a mistaken policy of attempting to deal with terrorism with civilian courts, to treat it as a law enforcement problem rather than a terrorist problem. And in the case of Ghailani, again, while I hope he's convicted and the case against him appears to be strong and there have been prior convictions on the African embassy bombings, assume for the moment that there would be an acquittal in the case. What is the position of the administration in that case? For instance, he could still be charged, I believe, for the fact that he was arrested on the battlefield, that he was still involved with Al-Qaeda against American troops subsequent to September 11th and subsequent to the charges in this indictment. Do we have the prerogative to hold him? Can we hold him in an American prison? And if so, on what basis? That, to me, is another real danger of too quickly removing him from Guantanamo. I think the administration is trying to prove a point here. They're trying to make a point. They're trying to take a case where they feel a conviction should be somewhat easy and use that as the precedent for bringing other detainees to the United States. So I think this is very hasty. It's premature, and it raises questions which have not yet been answered, and it shows to me an indifference by the administration to the will of Congress when they see the overwhelming majority of Congress, Democrats and Republicans, want all of these proceedings put on hold until an overall procedure has been adopted. So with that, let me just express my strong opposition. I know I'm speaking for the minority leader, Mr. Boehner, expressing his opposition, but also, I would say, I'm also speaking for the majority of the American people who do not want these detainees brought to the United States, certainly not before a full overall procedure has been devised and worked out, and also a way of working with the governments of the individual states. So with that, I will try to answer any questions you might have.
Congressman, two-part question. Have you communicated any of this to the administration already, any of your concerns, and or have you gotten